Hi, my name is Patrick Fraley. I'm a music business major at Full Sail University. Today I want to talk a little bit about the technology in the music business industry. First, I want to start off with a quote from Rick Carr from NPR. He states about every 20 years a new technology comes along and revolutionizes the sound of recorded music or the economics of the record industry. So I want to start off a little bit with some of the history of how the music industry got to where it is now. It started off with phonograph invented by Thomas Edison. Really the next big thing was the 78, named for 78 revolutions per minute. Now the 78 was actually an industry standard for over 70 years. From there we have the Victrola, which really allows the phonograph to be placed in the consumer's home, really a small scale phonograph. Finally, the radio evolves around 1920s with KDKA out of Pittsburgh, our first major radio station. Cassette tapes actually don't come onto the scene until 1964, even though they really were invented in the 30s. It takes them, about 35 years there to come on to the actual music industry. From there, we see CDs in 1982, and CDs actually take a full 6 years to surpass record sales, finally happening in 1988. The MP3s finally merge around 1990, which allows music to be placed on the computer with no quality compromised. Today, we're not only using the past standards of the CDs and incorporating the MP3s, but we also now have CD burners and rewriters available to consumers at very low cost, and computers just overall with things like the World Wide Web, which allow some artists to just completely skip the business aspect of it and just get right out to their fans. Also, we see easy access to file sharing, email for quick communication, and cheap recording packages, which allow any aspiring artist to really start up a recording studio at their house for starting around $500, what normally would cost $10,000 to put into a studio. Today you're going to find yourself with a lot of different software options, starting out with the operating systems, Windows versus Mac, which really is just something that comes down to a company versus company preference. Also, you're going to see hundreds of different recording packages, again, just really basing off of what that company prefers to use. Various email clients. We've incorporated things like Blackberries and PDAs to allow for instant communication anywhere in the world without having to sit at a computer. Spreadsheets for various different expense reports and profit loss using things like Excel, variety of different presentation software such as PowerPoint or GarageBand, and of course your standard Word documents and things along of that nature. How I'm preparing to be able to handle this really is by switching everything over to Mac, since I've used PCs for probably 10 years now. Switching over to the Mac, getting used to that platform and how things operate with that, as well as buying things like Blackberries, familiarizing myself with burning music, using Excel, using PowerPoint, and things like that to make sure that I understand all the functions and am fully able to take on the challenges that come up.